What part of our bodies do we use to communicate with others? Most of you guys probably said our mouths, which in that case, you're correct. But in addition to speaking, we naturally use our hands in conjunction. The hand gestures that we perform when talking helps us formulate our thoughts as well as get certain points across. Not to mention that sign language is heavily reliant upon the use of this. So how does this translate to VRChat? Well, grab a drink, take a seat, and sit back as we talk about hand tracking in VRChat. When the HTC Vive was released, it was the very first time that users in VRChat were able to move their hands around and perform some simple gestures. Although the ergonomics and the functionality of the Vive ones were questionable, it is the very first. Shortly after that came the Oculus Rift CV1 with its touch controllers. This is, in my opinion, one of the best controller designs ever made for a VR headset. It later became the base for future Oculus devices and other VR controllers, such as the HTC Vive Cosmos, Pico Neo 4, and the PlayStation VR 2. 2 buttons along with the menu button, a grip button, and a way for them to be tracked at minimum. The Valve Index controllers were very unique in that they implemented finger tracking within the whole grip. There was a short period of time in VRChat where people who had just gotten their kits delivered would go like, "Hey John, how are you doing today?" "Oh, that's really cool. I'm just hanging out as well." Another device I'd like to mention is the Leap Motion, that uses a camera and infrared LEDs to detect the movement of your hands and fingers. This device was very accurate in tracking your hands, but there's only a couple of videos I could find online of people actually making use of it in VRChat. Rather, I see it being used in games like Chill Out VR and Neos VR. But then the Oculus Quest 2 came out, or the Meta Quest, I guess. And in December of 2019, a software update added proper hand tracking thanks to the cameras on the front. Hand presence can help make your VR experience way better, finger wiggles and everything. It was a really cool experience, only for a couple of hours though. There wasn't really a lot you could do with it besides navigate the menu and play the small amount of games that supported it at the time. The catalog has grown over time though, to include some notable games such as Hand Physics Labs and Unplugged. But for the longest time, VRChat never natively supported hand tracking. A game that would be great for something like this.
You know, you ever come home with like a girl, right? And it turns out she has a twin sister, so you accidentally fuck her dad.
We're gonna pretend. What the hell did I just hear?
And you know what else is great? Subscribing to my YouTube channel. Because if you don't subscribe, I'll kill you. Back then, you can technically use hand tracking by jumping through a couple of technical hoops. But it was still a little jank. Your gestures still match those to your controller, and you literally couldn't control the game at all. It was super convenient. But fast forward to October, okay, I don't like this spot. I'm getting the hell out of here, man. But let's fast forward to October 2022. VRChat released proper hand tracking to VRChat. Unlike previously, you could move around, jump around, open your menu, mute your mic. It was now possible to play VRChat without using your controllers at all. It was such a surreal experience seeing my hands basically be one-to-one with my avatars. But it isn't without its flaws. To start off, you can't move your hands outside of the view of the cameras, which means that you can't naturally put your arms by your sides. You just look kinda awkward. You can't move your hands very fast either or you'll lose tracking, which is terrible for me because I tend to fight people a lot, for fun. And you can't open your action menu. It's not an ideal way to play VRChat. Not to mention this feature is only available on the standalone version of VRChat. So for someone like me who exclusively plays on PC, it's not very good. But according to Tupperware, this update will eventually make its way to PC, if you're going to be using your Quest or any other VR headset in the future that supports hand tracking. So I won't be using this feature anytime soon, but maybe in the next couple years or even decades, the VR controllers that we use today will be replaced with proper gloves. With advanced haptics, the ability to grab items and have your hands conform to the actual shape of the object you're holding, and being able to retain the same or have even better functionality as the controllers that we have today. That actually sounds like it's like a decade away. Sing with me, sing for the year, sing for the Anyways guys, that'll be it for this video. Thank you to my patrons for supporting me and my content. Twitter! You know that blue bird app that one person bought? Follow my Twitter account at TwiceVR. I post the coolest stuff. And be sure to join my Discord server at discord.gg/TwiceVillage. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys on the next one.